GearNetwork.com.
The following is a presentation of the Gear Radio Network.
So, Fat Man,
I'm here to save the day, guys. I heard last week's show was absolutely awful without me. I'm back. Ryan's nodding his head in agreement that it was the worst show ever. So I'm back, and we'll talk about fuck Dave Meltzer being an overrated piece of shit about the show you guys reviewed, and some very, very sad news that's going on.
all I can say is let's find out how full of shit Fat Man is on the wrestling show. Welcome, everyone. This is Sleazy.
I just took New Jersey, so I'm not full of shit at all.
Anymore. And welcome, everyone, to another wonderful episode. First of all, we have the man who seems very perplexed right now. Chip Willett is here with us.
What the fuck are you doing, Ryan?
I didn't fix the light from last week.
Gotcha.
And as always, for all our continuity, Ryan Williams, the light fixer, is back with us as well.
The uncrowned wrestling show Hall of Famer. That's what I'm going with now.
Wow.
We can always call you the light.
Hey, the man gigged on a podcast. How can you not do that, right?
I wasn't there. It doesn't count.
I don't know. Wasn't there. Okay,
Right.
Bruce. So you didn't actually say your catchphrase, Ryan.
Hell.
Thank you. Let's start with
Like,
that.
that's ever hard hitting now, isn't it? Fuck.
Yeah, seriously.
Let's start with that. Obviously the show drops on a Saturday. We're actually taping it Monday afternoon.
We're
Week.
all the way fucked up this week.
Yeah. So, we don't know exactly how things are going right now, but not great. As of 5:00 today or 4:30,
Good guy time.
Eastern, Merca time. Scott Hall is still alive, but he's been taken off of life support. According to, I'll say Dave Meltzer only because
In this instance, we'll say Dave Meltzer.
Dave Meltzer, because not only that, but Sean Waltman's also confirmed it. I don't know if he's going to get through this. It's not looking good, obviously. But no matter what happens, I don't know what else to say to that. So our thoughts and hopes and prayers and whatever you want to call them go out to the entire Hall family. Let's Debbie Downer to start with this.
Yeah, that he went in for hip surgery last week, and then a blood clot happened, and then he had 3 heart attacks the Sunday,
Yeah.
and then he got put on life support, and like says he just said he got taken off. He's still hanging in there for now, but yeah, it's not looking good at all. But that man has been through so much that it's just like he's been fighting, and then this happens. It's just like he just can't get away from it. So
It's hard to see somebody who's fought so much to potentially be taken out by a trip and a fall, because that's what started all. So,
I mean, okay, and I love Scott Hall too, but like, this is what happens when you're a champion and fucking taking drugs for years and years and years. Like,
I mean, yeah, and I think Mike Johnson did a piece on him today. That was a very poignant piece that pointed out a lot of that. You know, a lot of people can take a look at Scott Hall's life and his impact on the business, but also from his personal impact of maybe this generations of wrestlers would be a little bit better off if they saw the mistakes that Scott made earlier in his career and not repeated them. So it's hard, but.
And that's the thing. He's had, I mean, of course, it's well documented, all the alcoholism he had. So, and then him getting his life straight, going to working with DDP Yoga, being the anchor for that, living in the house with DDP, straightening his life out, then it's going to happen as an alcoholic. You're going to have relapses. And then to be taken out, like you said, by this situation, it sucks. But the dude has fought demons all his life, and this hits really close tonight, actually, and I'm not going to, people know why. But demons control and take over. I know this isn't demon-based with Scott Hall, but little known fact, maybe now more known to the fact than it was years ago, he is actually from the county south of where I'm from in Maryland. He's actually from St. Mary's County, Maryland. He was a huge up-and-coming wrestler at Great Mills back then. And then that's when, it's funny, because when he debuted as Razor Ramon, I'm like, oh, this is back when promos were a thing, and the vignettes before someone came around. And then I was like, oh, this guy's from Miami. You come to find out the whole time he's from just 20 minutes south of where I'm from.
Right.
So it showed you how great of a character he was. He made you believe he was where he was from.
We also grew up, us specifically, in a time where you didn't know everything, like at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? So, like, Razor Ramon, like, is someone we watched evolve in the character. But can you imagine if Razor Ramon did all the shit then, now? Like,
yeah,
we saw a different side of that man.
We saw way too much of him, in that respect. The goods, the bads, the highs, the lows.
What are we going to do? We're going to do news and rumors, or we're going to talk the show that was the best show that weekend?
We're going to do news and rumors first, because you and me were the only ones that watched the show.
The best show that happened that weekend.
Who the fuck watches Impact?
We'll get to it. But let's do news.
It's only not me and Sleazy.
Not much. Big E broke his neck Friday on SmackDown.
Wow, yeah, that's crazy.
Insane.
So stupid fun story.
Let's go to a less depressing story. Big E broke his neck.
Probably done with his career, but it's fine, So, funny quick story. So, I was randomly watching Thursday afternoon. No, it was Friday. It was Friday afternoon. I watched First We Feast Truth or Dab with Sean Evans. He does the whole gimmick with the hot wings, and you either do truth or you eat a hot wing, right? And the two people on the show were Bill Goldberg and Big E Langston. And one of the questions that came up the day of Big E getting hurt was, Bill, name a person that you fucking hate in the wrestling business. And what's the name that he comes up with?
Big E.
Scott Hall.
Oh, shit.
And he starts cutting a fucking promo in the episode about how I hated him, blah, 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 blah. And thank God they kind of cut away from it to talk to Big E. But it's like, holy shit. God damn, pal. But it was just so strange to see that. And now I'm really worried about Bill Goldberg now.
Cool.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
You're next.
He is next, apparently. From what I know, and forgive me for co-opting this a little bit, he broke his C1 and C7? C6? Fatman, do you have it by chance?
Let me look through the chat, because I know Brandon mentioned something. Because, Brandon's all like, Sleazy's all like, Biggie broke his neck. And I'm like, oh, that sucks. And Brandon's all like, oh, Biggie broke his neck. It's like, do you read the chat, bro?
Answer is no. Unless
and then I'm like, oh, my God. I post some of Scott Hall being on life support. And then everyone's all like, oh, man, that's terrible. And then Brandon's all like, Scott Hall's on life support. It's like, Jesus.
His chat comes 2 days later.
He doesn't, and he works for a phone company. That's the funny part.
Yeah. I gotta get through all this steroid baseball shit, stupid shit. I
Give me steroid baseball.
I wasn't sure what chat I was in. I thought I was in the Best Darn Sports Show.
I don't talk about many sports, but like
C1 and
baseball.
C1 and C6. Yep.
C1, C6. C1, fucking, he's lucky he's not a paraplegic. You know, that is not a bone to break, let's just say. But he's in relatively good spirits. Supposedly no spinal damage, no spinal cord damage. The only thing that's broken is actually fractured is the vertebrae itself. Is it an injury that can we come back from? I don't know. I don't think even Big E knows at this point. But no matter what, best wishes to him, best wishes to his family. Very, very, very well liked across the entire, you know, not just WWE, but entire wrestling. He's one of those guys that's just like an absolute sweetheart and everyone knows it. Of all the people for it to happen to, Big E Langston, really? Yeah. But yeah, so best wishes out to him.
Oh, absolutely. Cool. Such a downer. Such
Right. We need something better here.
Well, FTR's frustrated with AEW.
God damn it. Well, at least we're back up from.
Should have fucking stayed in WWE then, dummies.
Well, they haven't denied a return there either.
He should probably go talk to L.A. Knight.
Fuck's sakes. FTR is bitching. They went over, they got their one tag team title reign, because realistically, in the mind of everything, that would have been a belt that everybody would have been like, oh, you didn't hold them because you weren't there. They went there, they fucked around, go back to WWE, stay in one of the 4 fucking tag divisions they got, and run the fuck out of that. Like,
right? I mean, what the fuck are we doing here at this point?
I think you're going to see a lot of people start getting frustrated with AEW because the roster is just so big. And we'll at the end of this, there's 2 things I want to touch on, about that. But let's just get through these quick news and rumors. Bron Breaker's probably going to go to the main roster after WrestleMania. I mean, he's already kind of debuted and stuff, so
no one cares.
I know, not nobody cares. Over under. Did they change his name again to Steiner?
Yes. Bron Steiner. I think it's going to be Bron Steiner.
Well, that sounded like you had an aneurysm trying to say that.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that is kind of hard.
Bron Streimer, right? Bron Steimer. I can't.
Bron Steiner.
Okay, maybe you won't change it to that. Maybe that's why they didn't.
Ron Steiner.
Ron Steiner.
Ron Steiner.
Oh, Ronnie Steiner right there. I tell you what.
But if you said Bronny Steiner, it wouldn't be so bad. For some reason, you got to think real hard before you say Bron Steiner.
Ron Steiner. There we go. Wow. Holy shit. On a related note, who likes Dolph Ziggler as NXT champ?
Love it. Absolutely love it. I think it's great. Ziggler got that belt now. He won it last week. He'll have it till Mania. Technically a transitional champion, we'll call it, because if they're calling Breaker up, they're not going to leave him on NXT. So Ziggler's probably going to beat Breaker on NXT, and then the next champion's going to probably going to be Carmelo Hayes, because he's losing the belt in the ladder match. Is my journalistic guess.
My journalistic guess is that Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler are going to fight for
it, yes, but the person that takes that belt off Ziggler is going to be an NXT guy.
I hope so.
It's going to be Hayes.
I think Hayes is a good option. The only other one that might be a good option is, I would say Swerve Scott, but no, fuck him.
Yeah. Swerve Strickland.
Whose house?
Mark House.
Swerve's house.
He stole it from Mark. I'm not kidding. He stole that from Mark House. Mark House has been saying that for half a decade now. More than half a decade.
So years?
Like, more than years.
More than years.
More than years. Don't worry. Tony Schiavone told everyone before he came out.
Ski alone.
Tony, the what?
Oh, who? Huh?
I think Slizzy's having strokes on the show as we're talking.
Tony Schiavone.
Yeah, okay, you said it.
No,
it
that's-
was.
No, I intentionally said it.
Oh, okay, that's what fucked me up. That's all.
Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a brand new signing here. This person right here is coming out, but nobody knows who it is. Who could it possibly be?
We're gonna hit you again. Okay, fine. Get stupid. Yes.
It was fucking dumb.
Are we talking about Jeff Harvey?
No, the week before,
We're talking about
where
Revolution.
they signed Swerve, but
Oh,
Where they had an announcement and didn't announce they had an announcement.
Right.
On the AEW.
isn't that great? Right, the most AEW thing in the world. Yeah.
okay. Let me just run through
Yeah.
these. Matt Hardy and Miro signed extensions. Christy Hemming's working backstage at Impact.
Cool.
Cool for Chrissy Hemming. She was a good fit there. Obviously, Matt Hardy was going to resign and Jeff was coming in. Cool. Miro, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone disagree with that?
I'm shocked that they re-signed Miro. I really am.
So do they have any intention of bringing Lana in?
He's been hurt, so that's why he hasn't been on TV.
Yeah, but he's always bitched about his standing, so to speak, I guess.
Has he?
Yeah, he's been kind of bitching about it. Him, Lance, but it's like you don't know if it's a work or not. So there's that too. And you know me, everything's a fucking
Everything's
work,
a work.
right?
He signed an extension. It's a work. No shit. He signed.
Right. But I mean, just before then, he was bitching about,
Or he was bitching about it.
right?
Or he's bitching about it to get more money from Tony Khan because Tony Khan's a fucking money mark.
He brought in Jeff Hardy. Okay. Anybody's
Money
fucking
mark.
yeah. Matt's getting beat up. Ah! Oh, I better go help him. No, I gotta dance more.
Charmel's going to be in the WWE Hall of Fame
Why?
because she's married to Booker T.
But
I thought she already was.
No.
no. But okay. I'm going to say this in the most respectful way.
No,
what the
no.
fuck has she done?
Who the hell has she ever beat?
Who the hell is she? Who are you? The
I got
downhill
a
dandy.
phone call. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus. Chip's gone. Motherfucker. Queen Charmel is going in and Chip's out.
Racist fuck.
Right?
Okay.
I need somebody's thoughts on this. What the fuck is this?
Who cares?
You couldn't find another female to put in there other than Charmel?
Technically, like the Texas connection, you know what I mean?
You couldn't find another Texas woman?
Not friends with the company?
Name one, Sleazy. That's not in already. Ha!
That's interesting. I don't know, actually.
I challenge you to name one person, female from Texas, that's with good standing with the company that's not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, you got to remember that part too, right?
Well, that's what Ryan said. So
The only one I can think of is Athena, but she's not done yet. Let me think.
good standing with the company.
Isn't Kong from Texas?
Who?
Who's
I
that?
didn't hear you. Who?
I said Kong,
Awesome Kong?
Who cares? She hasn't done shit anyway.
but she's still in good standing.
Mel has actually done more shit than Awesome Kong did in WWE. That'll tell you.
In WWE, yes.
I mean, she.
But if you want to go with like just another woman to be in the Hall of Fame, like
I don't know. It just seems like a throwaway.
Well,
they usually have one or
the
two
year
of
they're
those
doing a lot of
induction.
virtual inductions.
yeah, I have that in the
Oh,
I have that in the notes, and there's two names that are rumored, which is the Steiner brothers, and
what? Yeah, that's
And-
not happening.
and Sid, and I go, now watch Sid no show his virtual.
Newest update, as I was taken in New Jersey as we were about to come on, if they can't get the Steiners together, they're gonna settle for just Rick.
What? How can they settle for Rick Steiner?
I don't believe that.
I
don't believe that.
Yeah, that's.
Hey, I'm just a journalist like you, delivering the stuff that I read.
I don't believe that at all. Not at all. Okay. Did you guys touch on ROH last week?
Not really. We basically blew through the AEW show, and it went super long. But you would know that if you watch the fucking product, or in this case, listen to the fucking product.
I was busy, man. I was playing Zelda. Leave me alone.
I'm really mad because we have a lot of good things at you during last week's episode.
Oh, it was good. It was good.
It was a great episode.
There was a lot of fun happening. But yeah.
You can't dig at me when I'm here, so you might as well do it behind my back like the bitches you are.
You better be talking to the other two, fucker.
Yeah, I mean, and even there's only one fucker that doesn't dig you, and he's over this side, and his last name is Mark.
So, Tony Khan bought ROH, and Chip and I on the Best Darn Sports Show Period 2, which we are taping later. Which you can listen to us on Spotify now, by the way.
Nice.
We gave our opinions on it. I'm fine that ROH is still going on because it gives another place for people to work in front of a TV camera, work in front of a live crowd, and get paid. And I know Sleazy's in that same philosophy. It's always best to have another place to work. My issue is in this latest update from hold on.
Go ahead, say it.
Oh,
say it.
It's not Meltzer.
Oh, boo. Boo.
I did the wrong thing. Anyway, I did the wrong fucking ROH update. What it was that they're pretty much, Tony Khan is pretty much saying that Supercard of Honor's still going on.
And he's going to book the whole thing.
No shit.
He's going to book the whole thing, or he wants to book the whole thing. But, he's getting rid of all the ROH production crew and bringing in his own production crew.
Why?
And that's what I said. And bringing in his own rings, his own lighting, his own staging, everything, whole production, even though he bought the ROH rings and stuff. So my problem is that it's just going to be AEW. It's not going to be its own entity.
It probably won't be, though.
You said it probably won't be?
Yeah, it's Ring of Honor's dead. Okay, let's be perfectly honest here. It was dead in December.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so whatever this was going to look like, it wasn't going to look like Honor from 5 years ago, 3 years ago, even a year ago. So in that perspective, it didn't matter what it's going to turn into. Whether it's Tony Khan gussying it up being AEW Light, or if somebody else came in and made it look a completely different thing, like MLW or something of that nature. The good thing about this, I think, in my opinion, as a wrestling journalist, is this is a perfect way to offload a lot of the things that were happening on Dark and Dark Elevation, where you had a bunch of indie guys coming in to do one-offs. Ring of Honor's always been perfect for that, and this is just going to be a great way to have more people like that in that. I don't want to call it developmental, but there's a pathway, let's just say. And if you have guys coming down every once in a while to pop a rating here and there that are mid-cards in AEW, why not?
Long ago, when this all first started about Ring of Honor being sold, not who it was being sold to or anything else like that, part of our journalism was finding and reading that Ring of Honor, when it opened back up in April, was going to start being ran akin to the GCW style of how things are run, how shows are run in venues, and they don't really got TV, but GCW puts off a lot of shows a year.
Mm-hmm.
And in the terms of indie names that are on shows, there's a couple of names that are like, okay, if that's still to be held true, then Tony Khan can just run Ring of Honor like a GCW show with those dark names and some of the indie names. Like,
mm-hmm.
That's what I envision Ring of Honor turning into.
And that's not a bad thing. In fact, they would be more national now because of it. Because look at where Ring of Honor really goes. or used to go. GCW's running shows coast to coast now.
No TV.
And with no TV.
Right.
YouTube and Fight TV. That's all
exactly.
they got. And look how big GCW has gotten. Thanks, Matt Cardona, by the way.
Yeah, right?
If that works for GCW, I don't know if that will work for ROH.
Why not? Why not with the huge caveat of not only do they may or may not have a TV deal, but they 100% still have Honor Club. That piece of shit.
No, they don't 100% still have Honor Club.
They absolutely do.
No, Tony Khan wants to shut it down. Or what I read was, as being the journalist, was...
We're all just fucking journalists here.
Is, quote, unsure about the future of Honor Club.
Because, well, the future of Honor Club's a lot more than the streaming service, though. To be fair.
The hell's that noise in the background? Is that Chip?
That's Chip being Chip, I think.
Okay. But...
He's like, fuck you guys. I'm out.
So, what I think Tony Khan's going to do with Honor Club is he's going to use that as rebrand that as AEW streaming. And they may have ROH shows on there. Mm-hmm. Live ROH shows, which is fine. And apparently ROH already has TV taping set up in April in Dallas and Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. Like a month's worth of TV tapings. Are they still going to be on Sinclair? Are they still going to be syndicated? We don't know.
Here's my first question.
If they still have a TV deal, yes, they can go on Fight, but yes, they can go on Honor Club and do what Impact's doing, which they are on Fight, and they are on Impact Plus, and they can go on YouTube
and Twitch.
To be honest, Twitch is dead for live streaming. That big of a wrestling thing.
Impact's fucking deal is great, by the way.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's actually surprisingly good. It may not be working for other indie promotions, but the reality is that it's one of the few places that's really actually helping them, because let's be honest here, I'm probably the only one that watches it on Twitch.
That's my point.
But it's garnering
it's another way for you to get it. Yeah, got it. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm just not like, I was all like, yay, we get ROH's video library. And then I'm like, I just want to know what the direction of the company is, especially if you're literally having everybody in ROH being all like, other production crew being like, yep, you're gone. Sorry. Try to get with other Sinclair, transfer other Sinclair branches or something like that. Like, I'm just hoping it's not. I think I'm more optimistic, or I was more optimistic that it will be the ROH that I know, and now it's drifting to. It's going to be the AEW.
ROAEW, actually.
That I know, and I just. I'm just not very optimistic about it. We'll see where it goes, and it could be great, but. And again, it's another place for guys to work, and there's nothing wrong against that. I'm not optimistic about it as much as I was last week.
Here's your funny ha-ha joke, but kind of maybe real. Tony Khan learned from Joey Janela how GCW works to start his own GCW, and he's calling it Ring of Honor. GCW is somehow self-sufficient for what they do, so...
Which, to this day, I don't understand. But, hey, if it works, fucking keep doing it.
This is
what works for them. That's the thing. It works for them. It may not work for everyone else.
No, I mean, business-wise. Like, the money they, like, right now, like, the money they pay out versus the money that they take in. If people aren't getting paid, they're not doing shows. If things aren't getting paid, the shows aren't happening. They're having shows all the time. Like, what they're doing... is self-sufficient and working properly.
There's legitimately only one wrestler that's signed to GCW too, so that's the other thing. So everybody's in on a per night contract and handshake deals.
And maybe that's why it's working for them.
And how many handshake deals are in Ring of Honor right now?
0, because Ring of Honor has
all of
0
them.
employees.
Okay, fair. But I mean, there's no contracts anymore. And I think that's what was the biggest problem with Ring of Honor, is that they signed all these people to contracts not being big enough a company to be able to withstand that.
They went to Madison Square Garden and think this is what we did, even though they had a little help.
A little help? A little?
I was being nice.
Jesus Christ.
With New Japan. And they thought that they were, and I think we even touched on it after that, where ROH thought they were the ones that drew that show.
Yeah, you can go to New York, but take your nephew Okada with you now.
Right. Right. The only reason why I was going to that show, if we were going to go, was because of New Japan stars that were coming.
Well, I was there, and that's the reason I went.
Right. And if you ask a lot of those fans, they were all New Japan fans that were like, oh yeah, Ring of Honor's cool too, but we're here to see Okada. You know, it is what
and
it
then
is.
Enzo and Big Cass.
Who drew, here's another good example of that. Who drew Supercard of Honor when we were down in New Orleans? Who were the biggest stars there? Really? Think about it.
Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns,
In
Kurt Angle.
Ring of Honor. That Ring of Honor show specifically.
Well, they wouldn't run that show if it wasn't for WrestleMania.
Jericho, Omega.
Jericho was on that show.
I love
Jericho
that fight I've seen on the internet lately. I'm not going to lie. Everybody's shitting on WWE and all the fucking practices. And then while you're on the show on the weekend, WWE does their shit because of them. Fuck off.
Right. And I don't, for fuck's sake. I mean, you're going to make money. You're going to make money, you know?
Off topic. Somebody on some wrestling site.
Oh, once again.
Talked about how AEW made a 5-hour pay-per-view. Seemed like an hour to me. I'm like, dude, that pay-per-view was long as fuck. I go, and I understand it because they have 4 pay-per-views a year, and they got to seem like they're special. But did Britt Baker or Thunder Rosa really need to go 17 minutes with what they could accomplish was in 7?
No. You can't. Of all the matches you picked, that was definitely one of them that could have been cut.
Like the main event could have get cut by 5 to 10 minutes.
Everybody could have taken
Moxley,
5 off.
The only match that deserved the time was CM Punk and MJF. Everything else could have got cut by 5 minutes or didn't even need to be on the show. And I made that point. A nice tightly paced 3-hour show is better than watching matches that are boring for 4 hours.
Somebody needs to.
A guy told me that I was disrespectful to the fans that paid and the wrestlers because I thought that their match should have been 7 minutes and that short matches make wrestlers look weak.
What the fuck?
And I said to him, and I quote, laugh my fucking ass off. So you're saying that short matches make wrestlers look weak. You clearly don't know what you're talking about. Don't ever comment on a wrestling site again because you just embarrassed the fuck out of yourself.
Did you end it with your fucking mark, please?
I did not, but he commented again. I didn't even look at it because.
But what are you even doing there? How can you finish a conversation with a mark without saying you fucking mark? What the hell is wrong with you? How dare you? How dare you?
Even Dell said you fucking mark in the elevator in Dallas.
I know, that was funny. That was funny.
And here's the other thing about that, and we might as well. You know what? Let's take a break. We'll come back to this right after this. And we're back. Fat Man's done jerking off. Ryan's.
I didn't see no one mentioned Sasha Banks. What the fuck?
You are
Sasha
correct,
Banks.
sir.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
All right, here we go. Ugh.
It's too late. We're done with the break, asshole.
Doesn't matter.
We're on a video podcast, remember?
Does not matter.
Please keep the chest and up only, please, on the video for my own sake. First of all, great shirt.
Thank you. I got this a while back.
Fuck you. I know it's not.
I don't know what to tell you there. But the thing is,
anyway, are we talking about how big of a fucking mark fuck Dave Meltzer is about fucking Revolution?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you guys didn't watch the sports show last week, we did our review, and Eddie Edwards and Jericho, I gave 3 stars. It was a good match. Meltzer gave it 4 3/4.
Except for it's not Eddie Edwards, it's Eddie Kingston.
Eddie Edwards, Eddie Kingston, same thing, same guy, same.
Holy shit! Fuck
Same
you
letter,
first.
same guy.
No, no. You apologize, sir. You fucking asshole.
I called Eddie Kingston, Eddie Edwards. Eddie Edwards is far superior.
Thank you.
I
I
apologize.
was just gonna say, yeah. Just match your rating, Meltzer's rating. Go through the whole card. Just get it done one swap.
Yes.
Okay. I got mine right here too. So look at that. Oh wait, no, that's the show we're about ready to review. Okay.
Crikey, sleazy.
3. So Meltzer gave it 4 3/4.
Fucking Mark.
The 3-way tag match, I gave 3 1/4. Meltzer gave it 4 3/4. The ladder match, he gave 3 3/4. I gave it 3 1/2. So
you fucking overrating piece of shit.
Huh? The TBS title, I gave an okay match for a house show. I actually rated it more. No, I gave it 2 stars. My bad. Meltzer gave it 2 1/4. The dog collar match, Meltzer gave 4 3/4. I gave it 4.
Underrated piece of shit.
Thank you.
No.
Yeah.
The women's title match, he gave 3 1/4. I gave it an okay match for a house show, and I think I overrated it that. Moxley and Danielson, he gave it 4 3/4. It was an okay match for a house show.
Wow, you underrating piece of shit.
All it was punches and kicks and a shitty finish.
I can't argue the shitty finish part.
That's all it was. That's why Meltzer loved it. It was fucking chops and fucking kicks.
It was New Japan strong. Yes.
And it was an okay match for a house show. Yeah. The triple, the tree was, he gave it 4. I gave it 3 1/2.
That match should have never been as good as that was.
No, it was.
I rewatched that again, man. That was fucking great.
Yeah, that had no right to be as good as it was.
As much as I shouldn't know how long this pay-per-view was, and I thought this match should have been cut, it was fun. I'm glad it happened. And then he gave 4 1/2 to the main event when I gave it 3 1/2.
So, I mean, realistically, Meltzer just thought some matches were a little bit better than how you thought them.
Little bit better. A little bit better?
Yeah, I would say a little bit better because you're an underrating piece of shit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I'm a realistic rating.
No.
Oh, you're a realistic.
Oh!
That man, Sleazy said the word.
Just because you jizz all over Bryan Danielson doesn't mean his matches are fucking great. That match was, and I think I'm overrating it at an okay match for a house show.
That's why
it was 5 to 8 minutes too long, and all it was punching and kicks, and the finish was fucking stupid, and the way they debuted fucking Regal was dumb. They could have done that way better. It was so fucking stupid. It was a waste of time. It advanced the story, but it was a waste of time. This could have happened on a Dynamite.
Okay. Let me tell you all the reasons why you're wrong.
Okay.
Start with yes.
Story time with
pull up a chair, get the fucking marshmallows out. Number 1, you couldn't have done the Regal thing any other time. You had to do it right after the match because otherwise it doesn't make sense. Number 2,
it didn't make sense there because only 5 people knew about their history.
You're looking at AEW on your preference of wrestling, and it's been told to you millions of times. You have to watch AEW on how AEW wants you how to watch it. Just like how WWE wants us to watch how WWE wants to, like, you're watching it, you got to understand, this is how AEW works.
And that
they're
to the credit in the world to Excalibur as your fucking commentator, he's won me so fucking much over because he does everything he can to push. If you don't know something, he's there to tell you.
Yes. Which goes to point 2, just because it's not your type of style does not make it not a good match.
Yes, it does. It's not my type of style. Therefore, comedy matches, you love them. I'm not a fan of them.
Yeah, but that doesn't make them good.
Bad. Doesn't mean they're bad.
Yes, they do. They're terrible.
But here's the thing. Just because they're objectively bad or good is irrelevant to how much I like it. And we've had this discussion multiple times. Star
So
rating.
why are we having it again?
Because obviously you need to hear it again.
It doesn't matter because it's going in one ear, the deaf one, so I won't be able to hear it anyway.
Fair point, but still.
So it don't matter.
At this point, I'm not even talking to you. I'm talking to the multitude of our fans.
The match was okay. It was disappointing. That's all it was. It was disappointing. I expected way more. And maybe that's on me. But
maybe that's the case, but
I didn't go into that match thinking they were just going to chop and kick and that's it. I actually wanted to see.
I definitely did.
It absolutely made
wrestling, and I didn't get it. So
it absolutely made sense for the storyline. It was absolutely perfectedly. It is what the Kingston Jericho match should have been, but wasn't. You know what I mean? They both tried to have the same type of match, but Danielson and Moxley did it
so you're saying
50 times
wrestlers
better.
did it better?
Yes. I 100% agree with that exact assessment.
Yeah.
Okay. You're wrong, but okay. No, it made sense for the story. It did.
And that's all that it should have been shorter? Probably. In fact, I'm going to go further and say absolutely. But to say that it didn't advance the story, to say that it wasn't good is kind of strange.
It wasn't good. It was disappointing.
And that's okay. And that's, I mean, I've had the same situation where I thought something was disappointing.
Well, not the finish. You were disappointed by it, but it wasn't disappointing.
If I was disappointed by it, therefore it is disappointing.
To you, yeah.
To me.
To you.
But it's still disappointing to me. And it's my opinion. So fuck off.
What are you, a fucking journalist now?
Yeah.
Oh.
And now let's talk about a pay-per-view that was better, according to Ryan. The show opens with the X Division Championship. Trey versus Jake something. 11 minutes and 3 seconds. So Meltzer's star ratings. How about this? Meltzer doesn't watch Impact unless Kenny Omega's in it.
Yeah.
Right? So I have no Meltzer star ratings. I have this guy called Andrew Sinclair from voiceofwrestling.com. That's literally the only place I can find star ratings for this show.
Well, let's compare to Andrew. You versus Andrew will do.
Well, we both said this was a 4-star match.
4-star?
Great opener.
Oh, fuck, dude. Man.
Great opener.
Jake something beat the ever-loving fuck out of Trey Miguel.
It was well done with Jake something being in my notes and Trey Miguel fighting from underneath. It was well done. Oh, Sleazy's like, I'm taking this off. I'm jerking off. He's doing something. He's eating food. He's grabbing the tweezers. Okay.
Yeah. No, I thought it was weird. The finish being Trey Miguel winning, because like every time he'd eat a big move, I'm like, man, no. Oh, okay. I never. Every time he got hit with a bigger move, I was like, he's definitely going to win now, and it's just going to be what the fuck.
Right. I thought so too. Like, to me, it was an 11-minute match, but it felt like 20. But it felt like 20 in a good way.
Yeah.
Not like one of those, this match felt like so, like I was like, this only went 11 minutes?
The kids that call it a banger.
Eddie Edwards versus Rhino, 8 minutes and 44 seconds. Andrew gave this 2 stars. You know how I messaged you and I told you that there was one match on the show that was absolutely awful?
Is this one?
This was it. This was so dumb.
It had to happen in story, and that's about it. Like, that's the only reason it happened.
I gave this a dud. I fucking hated it. Why was Maria kicked out when there were still 4 other guys that could interfere? It made no sense.
I do believe you. That was the AEW was leaked over to Impact.
That was example 1 of this, but I was just like, oh my God, what the fuck? And then the action in the ring was terrible. The action outside the ring was just there and wasn't really needed for Steve Backlund to come out and hit Rhino with a kendo stick. They could have done that a different way. It was just weird. I don't know. I fucking hated it.
It progressed.
Right kid died, but it was dumb.
It progressed everything in the storyline.
Yeah, it did, but it was poorly done. Impact Knockouts Tag Team Championship. The Inspiration defends against the Influence. 10 minutes and 30 seconds. Sleazy, you're the women's wrestling enthusiast.
I don't know. I didn't watch it.
Ryan, you're the tag team wrestling enthusiast.
This is a lot better than I was giving it a lot of credit it was going to be.
Surprisingly good match. Better than I thought.
But like they teased this match for so long too, and like with shit with COVID, and I don't know if it was COVID the second time, but whatever the incident was the second time where it couldn't happen. Like it's been teased for so long, it's been built for the two of these people. So curious to me is, I wonder were they always supposed to win the titles the first match, or like
I think so. Yeah, but no, this was good. I mean, yeah, it wasn't bad. Jonah versus PCO, 11 minutes and 30 seconds
of the night.
You are wrong.
No way.
You are wrong. And
not a chance. You're not.
Get to it. I gave us 3.5. Andrew gave this 3 3/4. Another match that was way better than I thought it would be. The ref problem went into effect here, where it's like, this just pile drive. You can do whatever you want to PCO on the outside. We're not going to count you out. We're going to do pile drivers and power bombs off it. That power bomb was sick, by the way. That was
straight drop to the floor.
Yep, that was sick. But we're just going to let you do whatever you want. Don't worry about countouts or DQs. We're just going to let you do it.
So, Bodie need to go find that match. At least that match from the Impact. And then
I saw the spot
match that comes up after it.
I did see the spot. The powerbomb spot.
Just the entire match. Like, not just the spot of the wow. It's how that match evolved between fucking throwing on pieces.
It did build. It built.
It went up and up and up?
Oh, dude, when he fuck it, spoilers, he hits the big splash. He doesn't hit it on his body. He hits it on his head.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's gross. Like, gross.
Yep.
I will eventually go back and watch that because I do love a good Haas match. So.
And Fat Man, as I'm looking at the card here, the reason I said match of the night in the beginning, because as we talk about cards, we evolved to the next match. The next match then became match of the night.
100%. Alex Kelly versus Jay White, 18 minutes and 45 seconds. 4.5. What a great fucking match this was. And that's another match that went up and up and up. It starts slow, and it just built and built and built and built to a believable, excellent finish. It was fucking great. And I know 4 or 5 years ago, I said Jay White was generic wrestler number 7, but he is becoming the most underappreciated wrestler in the business.
I love the knife pervert.
He is so good. Oh, that's it? You just love perverts? Like, is that what you said?
No, I really, really wish that in December, when they talk about matches of the year, like, this one's not going to win it, but it 100% should be talked as if, say, they do that. Which one of these 10 matches could be match of the year of all of wrestling? This match deserves to be on that list.
Yep. It was fucking phenomenal. Now we have the Champ Challenge. Deonna Purrazzo comes out, and then Chelsea Green answers it.
Sleazy. You know how Chelsea Green is known for fucking her wrist? Sleazy. That's what happened in the match. She fucked her wrist.
8 minutes and 18 seconds. It was a good match. I gave it 3. Again, another match that was better than expected, and it was psychologically sound. So
everyone and their brother thought it wasn't going to be Chelsea Green.
Who they think it was going to be?
Athena.
I thought it was going to be Cody Rhodes.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Sir.
Everyone thought it was going to be Athena that was going to do the challenge. And I wonder if it wasn't going to be, if that was a plan at one point that fell through.
Maybe. So then the ending is pretty much Purrazzo, like Chelsea Green messes her wrists up, And then Peraza goes to check on her, which is out of character. But then Chelsea Green pretty much pushed her away, and Deanna Peraza's like, fuck you. Let me just break your wrist. And then she taps, and then Mickie James comes down because they're friends with Chelsea Green. And then Tasha Steelz comes down. And then we have the Impact Women's Championship match right then, which went 14 minutes and 6 seconds.
Both women's matches were a perfect little blend into each other, a story and start and finish. And
my problem with it wasn't that the match wasn't good, because the match was good. I liked it.
Mickey and Tasha.
Yeah.
Way better than you thought it was going to be. Like
it was, but if this whole time Tasha Steelz is getting into Mickie James's head, making it personal, then coming down while their friend's injured, why are they having a competitive match? Why isn't Tasha Steelz winning that in 5 minutes? She's in her head. Mickey's not prepared. Her focus is on her friend, not the match. I was expecting.
Mickie James is a fucking veteran, and her focus shifts real quick.
Yeah, I'm not saying I didn't like it because I did. I just would have booked it differently. I would have booked Tasha Steelz in a dominant 5-minute match, and then have this competitive match at the next show at Rebellion. That's what I would have done. Just so she got into Mickey's head. Her focus was away. But I'm glad Tasha Steelz won. She deserves it. And I love the emotion at the end. You can tell she, like, once that 3 count happened, her body was like, she knew she was crying. And then she quickly got up and just went back into character. But no, it was a good match. I gave it 3 stars. I just probably would have booked it different, went a different direction. But there's nothing wrong with this. It's just, I just thought it was, they would have went to a different direction.
This card was a lot of way better than I expected it to be. Yeah. Like Jordan, I'll give it to you on Eddie Edwards and Rhino, because that was 100% to finish off whatever nonsense storyline they needed to finish off from the previous. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But like everything else was way better than I thought it was going to be. Everything did its purpose and entertained me, and everything in this card was fine. The Chelsea Green thing was just kind of unfortunate.
Yeah. I mean, shit happens. Excuse me. Impact World Tag Team titles: the Good Brothers versus Violent by Design, 11 minutes 44 seconds. Ryan, you're the tag team wrestling enthusiast.
They could have went on longer, and I wouldn't have gave 2 fucks.
Wrong kids died, and it's so weird for me to say that because when Violent by Design lost the titles, I was like, they should have never lost it
to the Good Brothers.
Yeah,
and now they just shouldn't. Oh, and fucking Mark,
because
fucking Mark.
If they're joining the Bullet Club 2 weeks ago from this show, why are they dropping the tag titles right off? It had to be maybe they're going back to Japan. Japan's opening up or something. That's the only thing only reason I could come up with is like they needed to get the belts off them, because I think that was just weird how they did that. If you're going to make Bullet Club credible in Impact, why are you taking the tag titles? The only belts that they have.
The reality is they have to, because they're absolutely starting a Japan storyline. 100%. Because you got the Guerrillas Destiny that got kicked out of Bullet Club.
Yep.
Okay.
So it's happening. It's just, I don't know how they're going to do it.
You don't need them in Japan to do that with New Japan Strong.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. So I thought the match was good. I gave it 3 stars. I just thought it was just.
I thought they could have went another 10 minutes, and I would have been fucking pleased. I loved all 4 of these guys and all 4 of their work.
Yeah. Main event. Impact World Championship. Moose.
iPhone.
Thank you. Versus Heath. 12 minutes and 9 seconds.
I thought he was actually going to win it.
I'm sorry, Ryan. I have to say it. There was no way Jay Briscoe was winning the ROH World.
Yeah, good you said that after. Fuck you.
I would have come.
Because Ryan and I messaged him last night after I finished the show, and I'm all like, because Santino Morello was on commentary, and I'm like, that's Santino? And Ryan's like, yep. I'm like, oh, he looks weird because he's in a suit and he's talking normal.
So you missed the backstage segment?
I didn't. Yeah, I went back and read that he was in a back. I got up and did something during that segment. I think he like took a piss or something and then came back in. But yeah, I didn't.
And listen, until that backstage segment aired, I was like, whatever. And then that happened, I was like, maybe, like, yeah.
Well, I gave it 2 3/4. There was no, and because you said I thought he might win it when I texted you that was on the match. Yeah, and then I'm like, there was. Then I messaged you after the match. Was like, there was no point in that match. I thought Heath was winning. None.
To me, was that backstage segment.
The backstage segment.
Because it came out of nowhere, and it was like, that's weird to show him being pumped up by a backstage friend. You know what I mean?
Like, I've seen it happen before. Like, when me and Sleazy went to Armageddon, they did a Jeff Hardy promo, and I went right over to Sleazy. I'm like, Hardy's running the title the night. Like, just because of the way that they did the promo. So I get what you're saying. I just never thought it was going to happen. And we know why, because after the match, Josh Alexander came back.
I thought he was gone.
And signed a new multi-year lucrative contract with Impact, and he will face Moose at Rebellion. Rebellion iPhone?
You didn't give me enough time to iPhone.
In Poughkeepsie on pay-per-view for the Impact World Championship.
Is it pay-per-view? Is it Impact Plus Special?
Pay-per-view. Rebellion will be a pay-per-view. But yeah, this show was solid, except for that one match.
Yeah. The overall flow of the show was even fantastic. Everything that I watched was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. And is why I thought it was the better show all weekend.
This show was a little under 3 hours. It had 9 matches. Every match was good but one. And it had a flow to it. AEW had 9 matches, went 4 hours, and a fucking drug. You tell me what show, how to book a show. Not every match needs to go 9,000 minutes.
It's over 9,000.
Ryan's so high right now, I can tell. All right, that's it. Sleazy, paper toss for news and rumors.
Oh, shit. Yeah, cool. Chip.
Sorry for waking. We're done talking about Impact. You can wake up now.
Chip, you awake? It was your idea. It was your idea.
I know. And from what it sounds like, it was a hell of a show.
Not enough to go back and watch it, though.
I'm not going to watch it.
If anything you can take from this, even in our chat, next time we record, at least by next week, take the time out of your fucking lives to watch Jonah and PCO or Alex Shelley and Jay White.
Well,
I'll watch Alex Shelley and Jay White because I'm an absolute Jay White mark.
Why the fuck didn't you watch the show?
Because I had stuff to do.
Why didn't you watch the show?
I didn't want to.
Because Sleazy thought the show was on Thursday, not Monday.
There's a reason right there. I was planning on watching it Tuesday.
Technically, I could have watched it on Wednesday because I'm off Wednesday.
Okay, pull back the curtain a little bit. I didn't realize we were going to record today. I thought we were pushing it off till Thursday. So I was like,
plans.
Yeah, it was.
I made plans Thursday.
Yeah, we know your fucking plans.
I'm going to Buffalo.
Okay, tonight, well, let's rephrase that. You can follow the Best Darn Sports Show Period 2 on Spotify. We record usually on Tuesday nights. This week we actually did a Monday night recording. We cover all sports. We kind of veer away from wrestling unless we talk about TV, because I try to leave my wrestling input. Unless Fat Man's on because he misses this show, then we leave our wrestling input for this show so people can be shocked. But you can find us on Anchor and Spotify, Best Darn Sports Show Period 2. And you can find me on Twitter at the Sports Guru 728.
Ryan, anything developing on Reddit?
No, because the people on Reddit are fucking idiots. I hate them all. But yeah, we have a Reddit page though, so if you want to come find us and post and talk shit, I'll direct you to one of the fuckheads. I want to promote. Since it's Monday, it's before Raw airs, so we don't know. It's a prediction. Cody Rhodes debut night, yay or nay?
Nay.
No. What the fuck?
Yes.
You fucking mark.
I'm a fat man. I think it's yes too.
Oh, 2 fucking marks on the show, and it's neither one is Chip. What the fuck happened? Chip's the only other non-mark here.
Name me the top guy in the company right now that does not have a WrestleMania match. Who's healthy?
Seth Rollins.
And so
He's going to go fuck Brandy Rhodes, and that's how they're going to start the feud.
Are you sure you're not high?
I haven't taken my pills yet. I'm taking them on the sports show.
I do believe, because the professional wrestling world can be a bit spidey at times, that Jacksonville being where Raw's tonight is the perfect fuck you back. And not a fuck you as in not fuck you. A fuck you as in like, here's your little dig, because we know people are going to pop for Cody Rhodes in Jacksonville.
Are they at the Veterans Coliseum or Veterans Arena?
No, Jacksonville,
Probably.
outside of that, that's about 600 milligrams to go.
The Veterans Memorial Coliseum, probably. Or it probably has some different name right now, but because every 3 weeks the arena gets a new name.
Okay, so it's an hour and a half before Raw as we record, so this will be out on Saturday. We are split down the middle at 2-2 on if Cody shows up tonight or not.
Yep.
if he doesn't show up tonight, will we fucking put this thing to bed once and for all?
Can't. Because the next is going to be, he's probably going to show up the night after Mania.
And the thing is, we've talked about CM Punk showing back up for years.
Yeah, like, wouldn't shut up about it.
I'm not saying never say never, because there's a possibility, but the entire thing was he's leaving AEW and immediately going to WWE, and that's not happening.
So who said that again?
Fucking
Dave
Meltzer, fucking Sean Sapp, or one of the fucking idiots.
So people that don't know what they're talking about didn't know what they were talking about.
Spoiler.
Cool.
You can find this show and all other shows.
Oh,
part
by
of
the way,
Gear
I'm
Network.
TWS Fat Man.
No, I haven't
Fucker.
finished. I haven't finished the fucking plugs yet.
Dipshit.
You've been off one fucking week. Now you don't even know how we do the end of the show. God
You
damn it.
clearly don't know because you go around the horn and then you do that plug.
No, I'm doing it now. Because fuck you.
Well, I already got it in.
That's what she said.
Ha ha! You're not done with your fucking garbage plate. There's still food on there.
I know, right? You can find us and, other shows from part of the Gear Network at gearnetwork.com. The reason why I'm doing this now is so I can remember to say this, because we have actually sponsored another event. Ladies and gentlemen, June 11th, 2022, Sleazy and the Fat Man are going to be part of the Wrestling Video Game Night, co-sponsored by Gameheads United at the Podcast Precinct out in Tonawanda, New York. We're going to be there. We're going to do prizes. We're going to do a bunch of cool stuff. It's going to be great. Join us there if you're local to the Buffalo, Niagara Falls area. You can find this show every Saturday morning, wherever you get your podcasts fix, whether it's Spotify or whatnot. I am at TWS Sleazy.
Ooh, they touch tips. Fuck Dave Meltzer. Fuck Kenny Omega.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I did that on purpose.
What a dick.
TWS Fat Man.
And the show's at Sleazy Fat Man on Twitter, Instagram, and we are at The Wrestling Show on TikTok. With thanks to Chip, to Ryan.
Yes,
Chip's about to fall asleep, but it's fine. Ryan, who's about to fuck off out of
Runs
here.
Roddy, because the guy that has the belt for the wrestling hockey tournament every year doesn't get to go with the fucking podcast to the video game thing.
Right? Right?
It's June 11th, bro. You got time.
You got
I'm
time.
gonna fly down just for that, yeah.
It's only a 16-hour drive. It's fine. Whatever.
That's only 4.5 for me.
There you go.
I think we've been through this, Sleazy.
All
I
right,
think it's
we've
more
been
than
through
a
this.
15-hour
If
drive.
I'm coming down, I'm sleeping in Sleazy's house, and we're going to a pay-per-view. I've already been over this. I only need to fly down, drive over, and then fly back. Like,
Well, by the way, speaking of going to pay-per-views,
Oh, shit. Yeah.
me and Sleazy are going to WrestleMania Backlash.
sweet.
Because,
Oh, where's that?
Providence.
yeah.
Oh, cool.
I'm spending a week I'm spending a week after.
I'm spending the weekend.
But
My birthday weekend. It's Mother's Day, by the way.
is it?
Oh,
Fuck. Well, I'll have to figure something out there.
Well, I'm going to my mommy's the day after my birthday. Be like, Happy Mother's Day, Mommy. I already told her.
No.
So,
That's how it goes. With thanks everyone for Sleazy.
the Fat Man.
This is the Wrestling Show. Thank you guys so much for listening. Peace.
Fuck Dave Meltzer. Fuck Kenny Omega. A hot dog's on a sandwich. You guys are overrated pieces of fucking shit, but I love you all.
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network.